cultural news. You got Howard Stern calling Kamala the quote the law and order candidate, even though she bailed out rioters and let cities burn to the ground. Which yeah, Howard Stern's been delusional for probably over a decade, but yeah, shouldn't be too surprised. He's very much a leftist, and I think partially because he had to bow down to that because he knows he'll get canceled because he's done multiple things that everyone else gets canceled for blackface and being pejoratively racist, and he has not. I think it's because he quote unquote toes the line. Now, this is brought to us thanks to Libs of TikTok, and yeah, something about
To me, you're
16-second clip, but I usually before clip I'll say what they have to say is infinitely more wise than what I say, but in this case not so much. The only thing Howard did right, which is a short list, but ladies and gentlemen, did suit up for the occasion. As we all know, good men always suit up, and he wore a tie, so pretty impressive. He did one thing right. He did suit up for this occasion, even if it is occasion of interviewing Kamala Harris.
To me, you're the law and order candidate, and yet they
Yeah.
try to paint you like you're some leftist who I don't know, who wants to have people running through the streets committing crimes. You were a prosecutor.
I have put a lot of people in jail.
Yeah, including people yeah, on that note, jailing one of the biggest hypocritical things she did. She jailed people for marijuana then she went on a podcast and she admitted that she did it herself. She also kept people for cheap labor. She kept them in prison longer than they should have been, and she even withheld evidence for someone who was on death row until a judge ordered her to release it, so that man wasn't wrongfully killed. So not the best track record. Also, during the George Floyd Summer of Love riots, guess who was helping bail them out? Kamala Harris, and guess who she was working with? Tim Walz in Minnesota. In fact, we got that screenshot right here. And this is from her. I mean, this isn't, this is her words, not mine. It's from June 1st, 2020, in which she said, quote, if you're able to, chip into the Minnesota Freedom Fund to help post bail for all this protesting on the ground in Minnesota. Now, she wasn't accurate in the vernacular. They weren't protesting, they were rioting, causing fires, and those exact people, I'm not being hyperbolic or bombastic, they actually were bailed out by her in this fund. So, yeah, law and order candidate. And what else did he say?
And yet they try to paint you like you're some leftist who
Leftist. Well, let's think about that. She says she wants to control the price of products in the United States. Communist. She wants to confiscate guns, and she believes in mass censorship. That's the antithesis of law and order. That's breaking every law. That's breaking the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. That's breaking, yeah. Almost incomprehensible how mentally vacuous Howard Stern is, just saying something. Now, this moderately got about 350,000 views and 14,000 likes. The first comments coming from Gunther Eagleman, who said, quote, Howard Stern as a washed up POS, this dude is clueless, getting 1,000 likes. True. AKA says, I wonder what Howard Stern would say about that screenshot getting 47 likes. Yep. Playing on memes, but they did not respond in meme form. Nevertheless, they said, quote, does anyone still listen to Howard Stern getting 105 likes? Which, yeah, a lot of people do listen to him. I mean, at his peak, he was one of the most influential radio show hosts on the planet. I mean, you can't deny that. I mean, his behavior aside, but yeah, I think he peaked a couple years back. He didn't really adapt too quickly to like a more modern era of podcasting, which again, his whole roots and his whole history is radio. I understand that, but yeah, there's a lot of people who actually used to hate watch him. I always kind of debate with my friends like, what's that percentage of people who liked Howard Stern to tune in? People who hate him. And I forget who said it. There used to be a quote about saying how people who loved Howard Stern would listen to him for an hour, but people who hated Howard Stern would listen to him for 2 hours, just because they were that obsessed with him. You also have Paul Zupa saying, quote, Kamala is the law and order like her husband is being faithful to his spouse. In 53 likes. Brick Suit, great name. Great name. He obviously suits up as all men should. It is in fact in brick pattern, as Trump would probably say. I believe his real name is Rich. I believe. Now, Brick Suit says, quote, when did Howard Stern become such a beta cuck? Getting 1.3 thousand likes. Well, a few years back. It's been that way for a while. Scrolling down more and more. Yeah, not too many contrarian top. Let's see here. Head Bear says she doesn't prosecute the laws he is afraid of. His picture of him with Diddy. Let's see. Rob Patriot says Kamala is not the law and order candidate. Innocents in jail and criminals on the street is her thing, getting 68 likes. And having no border. Let's see here. Kyle Clipper says at least he didn't do the interview for her in blackface, which, yeah, he did that, what was it, a couple decades ago? A lot of people have gotten canceled for that. He hasn't. Wow, there's Howard Stern in blackface. Got some prosthetics on as well.
Oonga boonga. Now, I'm just trying to improve my image. The black people are against me because they say that I'm not a real black man. Ain't that right, you smelly nigger?
I didn't write that.
Well, you is a smelly nigger.
And I don't mean this in a disparaging way since this is your, but nigger, let me say something.
No, nigga.
I got 21 likes and a reminder of his past, which, again, this is the same guy who cancels everyone for having any type of controversy, especially in jokes. And yet, I mean, let me know, why do you think the mainstream media has not canceled his ass? I mean, this is the most egregious activity that they always want to cancel. All the comedians have done this throughout time. Also poor jokes as well. I would say it's also, in that regard, an insult to comedy and stuff. But nevertheless, I mean, he hasn't gotten canceled yet. Is it because he's always towing the party line? He's still worth millions of dollars as a daily show. And all the biggest Hollywood celebrities still go on a show all the time. And about 18 people tune in. I'm kidding about that last part, but yeah. A lot of people, oh, just like Justin Trudeau. He's a far leftist. They haven't canceled him yet. Yet he has a long history of blackface. Let's see. I'm not seeing too many. I'm going to do one more. Anti-woke meme says Howard Stern is an anti-American POS. And Howard Stern was quoted during the lockdowns or the vaccine. He says, well, when are you going to stop putting up with the idiots in this country? Just say, you know, it's mandatory to get vaccinated. Gain 50 likes. Which, I mean, that's what the mainstream media wanted. So, I mean, maybe that's why he still has his job. I don't know. But, yeah, calling her the law and order candidate. Even my liberal friends don't believe that. Like, that's just, I mean, no one believes that. But, and again, I'm not sure this is actually increasing her odds of success or, you know, improving her in the polls. I mean, create the antithesis to say it didn't. But let me know, did that win any over, you know, any hearts and minds? Are like the hardcore, you know, Howard enthusiasts going to believe him and, you know, vote for her now? Let me know in the comments, because as always, it'd be fascinating to hear what you have to say today. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So if you can click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe, fight the good fight.